I cannot tell you how many people I met in the past who wanted to be a 3D artist but now they aren't. Not because they couldn't, but because they did not approach the process with the right mindset. It is easy for the human mind to focus on negative thoughts than to focus on positive ones, and it is easier to give up than to swallow the initial pain in silence and keep moving forward without complaining or doubting oneself. If you want to learn Blender or any other 3D software for this matter, I can tell you with confidence that it is entirely possible, but you need to have the right mindset to be able to achieve this goal successfully to a certain extent, because it is a lifelong journey. This will be something that you will do for years or even decades. It is not something that you will do for a couple of months, then you forget about it. The truth is, you will probably spend a few years in your journey from an absolute beginner to becoming a professional. And let me tell you that it is a fun journey if you haven't been through it yet. The joy of being able to create something visually stunning out of polygons and vertices is just indescribable, and only those who chose to stay long enough will be fortunate to experience it. Time is going to pass anyway. The question is, what have you accomplished in your life? The 3 or 4 years will take you to become a 3D artist will pass anyway, but you will not be the same after that. You will either be another uncreative person on this planet, or you will be an artist who entertains the world with his impressive creative artwork. The problem with the majority of people is that they can't believe in themselves. They can't envision themselves as successful artists. Your job is to trust your innate potential and act accordingly. Don't concern yourself with too many details, just visualize yourself on the other end of the tunnel and everything else will fall into place accordingly. We all have doubt. It is human nature to resist growth and progress. It is not just you. Everyone who ever tried to learn something new or to do something outside of their comfort zone felt discomfort and resistance to achieving things they wanted to do so badly. The majority of a new potential 3D artists will think to themselves that they are probably not cut out for this, or it is just out of their league because it is for the other guy or the other girl who is more talented. But the truth is, we all have creative potential. The difference is, there are people who nurture this potential with belief and self-trust, and there are people who kill their creativity with self-doubt and fear. Believe it or not, but even professionals feel like this sometimes, because art is a journey of growth and you will need to do the work whether you feel like it or not until it becomes natural to you. Most people think that being a 3D artist is all about the techniques and learning the tools, watching tutorials, courses, and so on. But I would say this is only about 20% of it, because the most important thing that will guarantee that you will be a successful 3D artist is overcoming the psychological challenges that you will face down the road, such as self-doubt, fear, sense of inferiority, and lack of talent. You are on the right track, you just can't see it. Many times in our lives fail to see that we are on the right track and we veer off to the sideline because we are impatient and we want to know everything beforehand and we want to know that it is gonna work, which is not possible. As Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will connect somehow in the future. You have the seeds of being a great artist, but the question is whether you are going to plant those seeds and nurture them with hard work and belief that it will all work out in the future. There are many reasons that you can think of for why it is not possible, but there are also many reasons for why it is possible. So I suggest that you listen to the latter because they will help you to muster the courage to keep moving forward until you start seeing results. Everything worthwhile is hard before it is easy. Learning a 3D software is not very hard, but you need to put in the effort, especially in the beginning. There are many concepts that you need to understand, and there are a lot of tools and features to remember, and this might feel too much at first. Some people approach learning a software such as Blender expecting it to be a piece of cake. But like any other thing you need to learn, in school or in life in general, you need to approach it systematically. You need to give yourself time so your mind can adapt, because there is no way you're gonna learn a whole 3D package in a few weeks. If you give yourself that time, you will be able to do things without even thinking about it later on. Because we as human beings, we are creatures of habit, and those who are good as 3D artists today are just like that because They trained themselves over time to be this way. As Will Durant said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." From my personal experience, I believe that 90% of the work you need to do in your journey to becoming a 3D artist is gonna be in the early stages. I mean in the first few weeks or so, because you just need to learn new things that you might think of as hard, but you are also fighting against all the negative emotions and thoughts trying to prevent you from being a successful 3D artist. George Leonard, in his book called Mastery, talked about the 3 archetypes, or approaches to learning or obtaining any skills, such as being an artist. The goal is to be a master, but for the most part, people are dabblers. They try to learn a new skill today, and tomorrow they will drop it, and they will try to learn a completely new thing, because mainly they lack the traits of becoming a master. But those who succeed follow the path of mastery. As George Leonard said, "At the heart of it, mastery is practice. Mastery is staying on the path." This is a chance for having a better life. If you want to be happier as a person, make more money, or contribute to society, it is all possible if you can master 3D software such as Blender. The joy that will derive from working as a 3D artist on 3D projects and creating worlds that you can navigate through is amazing. And if you are paid to do this, it is even better. If you become very good as an artist, people will hire you to do work, and you can also work on your own projects. You don't even have to do it full time. If you have a job or something like that, you can just use a few hours a day or a week to make extra money online, or have fun working on personal projects, which adds more meaning to your life instead of spending all your time doing useless things that will leave you depressed later. Also, having skills as a 3D artist allows you to become a contributing individual, not just a consumer of what others create. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't burn all your energy at the beginning like most people do. Don't try to go all in the beginning to be left tired and desperate a few days later. This is a marathon. You do have to have a strategy. You can set only a few hours per day or per week to learn, because this way you will not be overwhelmed or burnt out. You must avoid this at the beginning at all costs. You don't want to do this too much until you hate it and quit altogether. Thinking long term is the answer here. Being able to achieve your goal in 5 years is better than trying to do it in 1 year or less to end up with nothing in the end. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone was once a beginner, even professionals who create mind-blowing masterpieces. So please don't try to compare your first few steps to someone who walked millions of steps, because this will most likely discourage you. There are some people who get inspired by other professionals, but unfortunately, most people get discouraged since they can't imagine themselves in the same positions where these guys are. Compare yourself only to yourself. I mean, make sure that what you are gonna do today is gonna be better than you did yesterday, and over the weeks and months, you will be better. All 3D artists that you look up to were in the same position you are in right now, but they didn't quit. So you don't have actually any valid excuses due to the fact that people have done it before. And the good thing is, it is not a competition where there is gonna be only 1 or 2 winners. Everybody can win, and everybody can be great artists in the future, and they can even help each other to do so. This opportunity could be the last one. We as human beings, we can't really control when we get inspired to do things. So if you feel like learning 3D right now, you better take advantage of the opportunity by taking action right now. You don't have anything to lose, but you have a lot of things to gain. So if you put this off for a while, hoping to get back to it later when you feel like it, it will probably end up taking forever, meaning that the risk of losing the opportunity is gonna be great, and it might be for good. I am sure with 100% confidence that if you want to learn 3D or Blender specifically, it is entirely possible, especially if you keep going forward at a reasonable pace without ever giving up. There are a lot of examples of many artists who came before you and were able to do it, and many artists who will come after you and will be able to do it as well. Not because they are super talented and you are not, but because they wanted it bad enough. I hope you found this video useful and informative. If you have something to add, please leave it in the comment section below. Also, you can check some of our previous videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.